timer up here. Let you guys do what you do. I'm gonna get this thing shared on as many platforms as possible. Hopefully, you guys are having a great, and I mean a great Sunday. It's a good day to reflect on the week. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's why this whole podcast is or this whole stream has been created. I was sitting there thinking about the week, and we're gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but we're gonna get started in just 1 second. All right, we got everything moving and grooving. Y'all about ready? I say let's get it. Right. We got everything moving and grooving. Y'all about ready? I say let's get it. Right. A little bit of feedback coming in, man. Don't worry about that. I'll mute that thing and let's get this thing popping, guys. Let's get this thing popping. Welcome to another episode of the 1028. For those that's your first time coming, let you know, man, I'm gonna make the main objective of having this channel, of having this stream, is to make sure that you leave this channel a better person than what you found it. So, plenty of ways that you guys can give us a follow. Just to make sure that you don't miss any content, you can go right on the Facebook at our page. I'm going to put the link down below in the comments section, as well as the 1028 podcast on YouTube. Yeah, we doing that thing. We on YouTube too, goddammit. All right. How's y'all week been going, man? You know, if you're on here, say hello. Get into the comments section, guys. But anyway, let's get this thing started. I really wanted to talk about Sundays is a good day to reflect on the week and try to take data of how I can take the things I learned into the next week, man. Making my tomorrows better than my yesterdays. That is the whole goal every day. That is the purpose of all my actions right there. So, as I was doing that today, as I woke up today, every morning I start my morning off with a good friend of mine's. She knows who she is. We sit down, we have coffee, and we kind of talk about the day prior. And it made me think of something, because I wasn't going to do this stream today, but being there around somebody who is going for their goal and talking about them going for their goal actually motivated me. And it made me realize, like, the importance of having some people around you in your life that are striving to do things, because you use that energy to push you forward. And I was like, damn. It's like, because I got a chance to see my friend, a good friend of mine, somebody I care about, going for their dreams, inspired me to go for mine. And I think that was the complete difference of what I'm doing now and what I was doing in the past, and not living to my fullest potential. So this is kind of that thing. This is how I'm moving forward with it. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, how my tribe kind of elevates my vibe, man. They always say, and this has been something that's been evident in my life, that when it comes down to what I'm doing in my life, a lot of times comes down to the environment and the people I'm around and what they doing in their life. So if they ain't doing nothing, a lot of times I'm not inspired to do something. So what I had to do was adjust my circle, man. That was the way I had to do it. Being around people that are going out and getting it inspired me to go get it. And there was a saying that I had that I used to say: if you hang around four homeless people, and I don't no knock on homeless people or people struggling that can't, don't have a home, but if you hang around four people that are homeless, then you should probably get a box ready, because you're bound to be the fifth. But if you hang around four people who are millionaires, then you might as well call a financial advisor, because you're bound to be getting money. And there's a reason for that saying, and why it makes so much sense in my life, is because I embody the energy of the people around me. to help me move forward. So if I'm getting positive, if I'm seeing how they're moving and I'm around them every day, 9 times out of 10, I got valid information that this thing works or this thing doesn't work. And what that does is help me push me up the ladder. You know what I'm saying? And we can push each other up the ladder. And that's what this is about. That is the reason. That is the reason why I wanted to create this stream. Because a lot of times we think about how do we get to the next level? Why can't I get past this level? And you're looking around, and the people that you have around you, they're not pushing past that level either. Because you're a subtotal of those 5 people that you're hanging around. You know what I'm saying? Your problems are the same, your conversations are the same, the probably your income is probably the same. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times to elevate to another level, we have to elevate the conversation. We have to elevate the information that we're receiving, which a lot of times means you have to elevate the type of people you're around. I'm not saying leave those people behind you, but you know, so to get something different, you got to do something different. And by doing the same thing, expecting different results is actually the definition of insanity. So it's kind of insane to think that that's going to be the right approach to make it work. I like the switch of the cameras thing. I can go from this one to that one. Oh man. Well, anyway, let's continue and keep this thing going. Got my wife calling me. She must. I don't know if she's on or let me make sure I tell her some things. But anyway, let's keep this thing going. So I was a lot of times when it comes down to if I want to do something new, I have to kind of readjust the circle that I'm in. If I want to become an artist, then a lot of times I want to understand what artists are doing. I can't do that hanging around bakers. You know, people that are just baking goods all day. You know, I'm not going to be able to get the information that I need. So what I do is I have to tap into that community and find people that you kind of fit into the thing I'm doing. And that's been a common thing in my life. And that's kind of how the whole TT Studios thing, when I helped create that, that's how we approached it. And there was a comment in a stream that I did for a test for this channel that said, you know, you don't ask a bird how to swim, you ask the fish. So a lot of times if I'm doing something or I want to do something, I need to ask the person that's doing it so I can get valid information. Because I can't ask the bird to teach me how to swim. And a lot of times the people that you're around, if you want to do something new that has not been done in your circle, you're not going to be able to get valid information from the people that are usually in your primary circle. What it takes is, and I'm not saying they're not going to have good information. They know who you are. They know how you move. They may have information that can help project you to and give you a better foundation to stand on, but they're not going to be able to help you build steps to do something that's never been done in your circle because they don't have the information. Now, you do want to be around people that may not have the information but are willing to help you search for the information. So that's important. But that's what I'm talking about right there. Having people like that. How do you know? How do you know if this person that you're around is the type of person that's going to help you elevate or is going to devalue your approach and devalue your journey? You know what I mean? A lot of times we're blinded by our emotion, the emotional attachment to this person that's on the side of us, that's been there, or that's in our lives, and you know, and how can I say this? You know, we're so emotionally attached that we stop thinking rationally about the true relationship we have, and if this is going to be conducive for the elevation of my future. We get comfortable. We're comfortable. I'm comfortable knowing that this person next to me has been there through the bad and hopefully through the good as well. And you know, we're creatures of that. You ever heard this? There's this saying that we say, that humans and creatures of all genres or whatever, all species, they follow the path of least resistance. Why is that? It's like if a deer was to be shot in the woods and are wounded in the woods, it's not going to go through the trees to get away. It's going to take the path because it's the path of least resistance, and that's a lot of times what we do. We tend not to go through the hard. We tend not to take the harder path because it is so much easier to take this one. But usually, if we want something good, if we want something great, we want something beautiful, that comes with a path that is not clear. It comes with a path that has resistance because a lot of times it's going to push us in something that's a zone that's uncomfortable. And I'm going to tell you right now, no growth comes without uncomfort. No growth. And to, like I said, you want to have something different, you got to do something different. It's part of the journey, man. It's part of the journey. And having the right tribe around you can elevate that. Not just elevate it, but can completely blow it past the sky. You know what I'm saying? So, what am I saying? Because I'm still trying to think of what I'm saying, man. It is important and it is a critical piece of the puzzle to surround yourself. And I know this is cliche, but you got to surround yourself with some people that are giving you energy and not taking energy from you. That's what this is about. You want to be around people that when you're around them, they make you want to be a better person. You have to be, when you're mentoring somebody, and I'm going to detach from this statement, but when you're mentoring somebody and you see something in somebody, you see something more in them than they see in themselves. So what you do is you give them that type of love until they catch up. You know what I mean? That's the type of people you want in your circle. That's the type of people you want giving you love. I don't want to I don't want to tell you that your friends aren't nothing, that they aren't that they aren't the that they aren't good people. But there's a difference between having friends that are there's people there for a reason and there's people there for a season, right? In your life, in general, there's going to be. It's like when you're going to a therapist. Sometimes this therapist is maybe a child therapist or something like that, and you only go to them to a certain age because that's their specialty. But once you gather all the information that they have, what you do is they can't give you anything more that'll take you further. So usually you have to switch to somebody that knows how to navigate the new terrain that you're following or that you're on. You know what I mean? Or that you're in. And I'm hoping this makes sense to you. If it does, please give me a like and give me a follow and, talk to me, guys. I think I'm hoping. Let me refresh this. Hey, thank you, Daniel. I got Daniel on here, man. Daniel Ochai. Of course, we family because this is Corey Ochai in here. Um, I appreciate all the love that you're giving me, my friend, and hopefully I can see you more and more. I'm gonna continue to do more and more of these things. So, what's the next? What's the next segment of that type of conversation? I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my past and tell you how me switching the places, and the things around me were truly the main ingredients for what I'm doing now. Growing up, like I said, I kind of grew up in a rough neighborhood, and it wasn't the roughest, but it wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst. I'll tell you that. It was a beautiful struggle, but I was around a lot of people that maybe didn't understand where I wanted to be. But they were cool with where they're at. Um, and they didn't have the information, nor did they have the drive of the type of person that I needed to be around to get the best out of myself. And that's no knock on them. Not no knock on them. They got nothing but love for me, and I got nothing but love for them. But I knew that I can only go to them for a certain type of information, and the information I needed wasn't in the place that I was in, so I had to navigate to other places. So what does that mean? That means I had to start talking to people that I've never talked to before and figuring out if they fit into this thing that I want, which was just to kind of live a life of significance, to go out there and learn how to, be the person that I wanted to be, not the person that I am or the person that I was. I needed to see other options in the world, so I can dream bigger. How did I do that? How did that come? What happened because of that? I left my neighborhood. I left my neighborhood. I moved into a different neighborhood. I got out of my comfort zone, and like I said, that's the only place growth happens, is out of your comfort zone. So that's what I did. I moved to a place that was thriving. The community was thriving a little more than the place that I came from, and there was people out there doing things that I thought were beautiful, and I wanted to know what they were doing. So I would go to these places, I would hang out, I would ask questions, and soon enough, I start to like gather information from them, and we started to develop a relationship. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know, and that is I've heard that statement my whole life, and it's not no, it's not. Yeah, it's not what you know, it's who you know. That is probably the most realest statement out there. I mean, that statement's so real. It could have came from Tupac's lips himself, and I would. It was that. It hit me like that. I didn't know how true that statement was, but to infiltrate different circles, you have to meet different people, and that's how you get different information. And there's a whole process to that. You know, and let me turn back to my old friends. Or nah. Before I do that, let me talk about this. There's a statement that resonated my whole life. It says, I'm not afraid of somebody who ain't got nothing, but I'm afraid of somebody who doesn't want something. You know what I mean? Like meeting the people that, and the reason I said that statement is relationships take work. Good relationships take work. To have a good friend, you have to put in the work, and they have to put in the work to make this thing actually work. You get it? So I was coming from a space where I didn't have anything, and they had a lot of things. The people that I was trying to become acquaintances with and develop these relationships. But why would they want to have a relationship with me? Why would they want to, if I'm not bringing value to what they're doing, why would they want to accept me? And that was kind of the thing I was talking about before. And this is why. People love to help people that they see potential in. They said people say this, there's no such thing as a dumb question. I think that's not a good statement. I can tell how far you are in your process by the questions you ask me. Say you wanted to come around here and learn about the podcasting situation and how to stream and all those other things. I'm more than willing to help somebody who's willing to help themselves. And by the questions you're asking me, let me know because I traveled that situation already. Lets me know how much you really want it. And time is the most precious thing that has ever been gifted to any human being. So I can't waste my time because there's so much I have to do. For me to make sure that I protect my peace in my progress by helping this person, I have to make sure it's worth it. And a lot of times it comes by the questions you're asking, the way that you are approaching the situation, and those things. So um, when I'm telling you that, you may need to elevate your circle of friends, and I'm not saying leave the circle you're in, but elevate it by adding new energy to it. Uh, it takes work. What comes easy goes easy. What comes hard goes hard. It takes a lot to destroy that. And I think anything great in this world is worth working for and putting in the extra effort. And that's what it takes to develop the relationships that are probably needed for you to progress in your career. So let me refresh this to make sure if I got any other comments. But hey, man, we're rocking and rolling here. We're rocking and rolling. Happy Sunday to you. Hopefully the Steelers pull it off today too. We're in Pittsburgh, so that means a lot to people in this area if you're from around here. But this stream, let me get back to it. This stream is really just to say thank you to those out there that I met on my journey, because I know that this journey that I'm on would not have happened if it wasn't for y'all pushing me, if it wasn't for y'all motivating me when I wasn't motivated, if it wasn't for y'all calling me out on my stuff. That's another good thing. What does a good friend look like? A good friend is somebody that you can communicate with, period. That's what I mean. Communicate honestly, where you don't have to hold anything back, where you don't have to, you know, put some extra seasoning on a statement just to make it sound good. You can just say it how it is. If you can't communicate, you can't develop a relationship. You know what I mean? A good relationship in any genre. When it comes down to your friends, when it comes down to your family, when it comes down to your spouse, when it comes down to business in general, it all grows from communication. That is the common denominator. We talked about it on the last stream, and I will never stop talking about that. That's why I love this podcast and this streaming thing, because it gives us the ability to have these conversations. It gives us the ability to talk about certain things and to talk it out. So if you are on the web, if you are on the live and you want to conversate, yeah, hit me up, talk. You know what I'm saying? If you got any questions that you want to ask and you want to, and all those type of things, let me know. We're going to get right through it. You want to conversate? Yeah. Ooh. All right. So what's the next move, man? What's the next move? After you've developed these relationships with a new set of friends, right? How do you strengthen it? How do you go about it? I remember the first, and this is no flex or anything, but the first millionaire I met, the very first one, and they don't consider themselves millionaires, but I'm just saying from what they acquired, all their assets and so forth, it's well over that mark, and this is somebody who's living comfortably. Still has problems and so forth, but are living comfortably financially. When I met that first person, I was so amazed because I thought that was an unreachable goal. And why would somebody like that want to talk to me? I was always flustered every time I would talk to this person because I admired them. It was almost like me seeing a star, in Hollywood or something. I had to overcome my feelings and understand that if I keep approaching it like this and not talking to this person like they're a regular person, they're going to devalue our relationship because, I'm looking at them like they're a shiny diamond or something like that. So how did I navigate that? I don't know. I'm thinking about it now. How the hell did I navigate that? I had to devalue the shininess of their suits, man. I had to understand that their title is not who they are. Just because they're a millionaire or a billionaire, doesn't mean they're not a person. They develop relationships through communication. If I can talk to them like I can talk to my buddy who's not a millionaire, then that makes this person feel a lot more comfortable because that title means nothing when it comes to relationships. Yeah, maybe resources, but not relationships. That's human. There's no financial value that should be put on that. It should be all information. It should be information gathering and information giving. And And there should be love in there. There should be some type of feeling of, I feel safe asking you these questions because I know that you're giving me valid information. These are types of things that go on. I'm going to switch the camera on y'all, so I'm going to switch it up on you. Bam. How about that? Um, and I feel like if you want to talk to somebody who's doing what you want them to be doing, what you want to be doing, make sure you write down some questions, some real good questions. Not questions like how much do you get paid, or how did you, not just about how did you get into this industry, because that is an important question, you know, but ask them, how do they make it sustainable? You know, how do they battle with the feelings of not feeling worthy enough to go forward, you know? It's almost like that imposter syndrome. Ask them questions that are a lot deeper than financial. Take the financials out of it. You know, I mean, you need to understand how they make it sustainable, like financially, but don't make it all about the money. You know, make it bigger than that. Ask them, how do they feel? How are they fulfilled? How does this fulfill them, you know, as a person doing what they do? Because this is what you want to do. And let them see your vision. Let them see your vision. And I'm not saying don't let them make your vision into their vision, but let them help shape your vision, you know, to make it so it's something that that is acquirable. You know, don't get me wrong. You want to dream past what you can think or what you believe you can do. I think that's important. But sometimes we dream so big, and we have only what we have to work with. We go so further in the future that we need somebody that can, you know, can throw that rope on us and kind of pull us back to reality and say, look, it is possible to get there, but you can't skip the steps. You know, find somebody who's going to check you on your BS. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? All right. And I think I don't know, have I gone on this rant long enough? You guys want me to keep ranting out here? Keep talking? Well, all I want to say is, and like I want to continue to say, I want to say thank you. Thank you for anybody that's came on this channel, just watch this stream. If you have missed it and you kind of came in a little late, don't worry about it, because you can actually go on to YouTube, which I'm going to put in the comments right here, and you can watch this thing all over. And you can watch every stream that we've actually done. So I'm pulling that up now for you. Watch the screen. I'm enjoying this. Hey, how you doing, Ma? I want to say shout out to my mom as well. One of the most influential people to ever exist in my being. And I mean that. You know, when I said you got to have somebody that sees more in you than what you see in yourself and reminds you of who you are, that's what you did for me, Ma. And I appreciate you for that. And that's what I'm going to do for my kids, man. I'm gonna look at the screen in 1 second. I just gotta put a few more things in here and make it work. You know, for those that are watching and those that are seeing the comments section kind of coming up, don't forget to follow the 1028 podcast on YouTube as well as on Facebook as well. So I'm gonna pop that in there as well. And let me see. Boom. And you can click those links to follow everything that we're doing and so much more. I'm posting a lot of these on my personal page. Like I said, I'm trying to knock out the kinks and also let you guys know what's going on the other side of the fence. And that is the 1028 on the podcast, the group, and everything. Make sure you're joining that. There's going to be a lot of content. There's going to be some guests that we're going to be bringing in very soon. We're not going to just be talking to me personally. We're actually going to do a podcast live where you guys can kind of see what that vibe looks like. And if you guys want to learn about podcasting or you want to podcast yourself, this studio that I have is also something that I offer to the public. So you can rent the studio out. You can You can create whatever that vision you have in your mind. I can help you create that. I can help you bring that to life. And that's what we're offering here. So if you are out there and you want to do a podcast, you want to do a live stream, you want to see what this feels like, and you don't know the technical back, like the technical stuff that you need. You don't have the equipment. You may not have the cameras. Don't worry about any of that. That is why I created this space. I created this space so all you would have to do is come here and pod. And I'll take care of the back end stuff and help you make this vision come true, because we definitely need more conversations in this world. And that's why I'm so grateful for the podcast scene kind of really popping into play and giving us the ability to conversate with each other and not just be on our phones, but doing something that's kind of productive while we're on them. So go out there, live your life. Go out there, do something beautiful. The world is counting on you. And just remember that this world is a blank canvas, God darn it. It is a blank canvas, and each of us need to grab that paintbrush and help paint a masterpiece together, because that's what it's going to take. All right? So go out there, live that life, man, and live it to the fullest. I say you got to live your life every day like it's the best day of your life, because in reality it is. All right? Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.